is SuperTalk 1270.
Welcome to the Tech Ranch, live and local here on SuperTalk 1270. The latest gadgets, online security, websites and apps, social media, and so much more. How can technology help you? Let's find out. It's time for the Tech Ranch on SuperTalk 1270.
From our studios in beautiful Mandan, North Dakota, along the mighty Missouri River, here is your guru of geek, Marlo Anderson.
Making a phone call with Alexa has become a big deal.
Oh, boy.
We're going to have some updates on the Spectre patch. You know, we were talking about Spectre and Meltdown a couple weeks ago, about what the issues are with that in your computer, so we'll talk about that. Minority Reports, remember the movie, Jim? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
I do.
Some of the technology in there is actually coming to life, and Flippy is getting upgraded.
Flippy?
Do you know about Flippy?
Yeah, it sounds like a dolphin or something.
Well, it's kind of a teaser until the next segment, so
Okay.
we'll just kind of let it go at that. But you want to stay tuned for that. It's kind of a cool story. Emily Medallion got called out on a news story, so she was going to be our in-studio guest today, and hopefully she might still be able to get here, but hopefully she'll be able to wander in a little bit. But so I guess right now it's just you and me, Jim.
Just you and me, sweetheart.
We haven't had a show together for a while,
Yeah,
so I
many,
guess
many moons.
I guess we should probably do that. So how you been doing?
Not too bad. You know,
yeah.
had a good sleep over the weekend.
That's good. So everybody, this is Jim Walsh, producer extraordinaire. So are you a fan of daylight saving?
Yeah, actually, I am.
Okay. And
I understand the case against it because more and more we are a 24-hour day society.
Right, we are.
But I like the idea. For my personal day, I like the idea of having it be daylight later in the day.
Yeah, I go with that.
Yeah.
And actually, if we were going to go one way or the other, I would prefer this scenario.
Me too.
Where the sun is out longer in the evening.
Yeah.
So if we were just going to go to, and I would be okay with that. Just leave the clocks alone.
Right.
I think that's pretty much what everybody wants. It's just a matter of
One way or the other.
Right, one way or the other. So, but I will say, I take that back. I've changed one clock manually. I have an old clock in my office that I had to manually fix, but everything else changed by itself, which I thought was kind of cool, right? I mean, even my car changed by itself, which I was kind of surprised at.
Yeah, that's one I had to change.
Yeah.
I've got an old car, and it's got an old system in there. It's a digital clock,
sure,
but you got to set it manually.
Right. Mine actually, I have a brand new car, my first one ever.
Right.
And it is actually changed by itself, so it's kind of cool. Yeah, so a couple weeks ago we talked about Spectre.
I remember that.
I hopped onto our website today. Did you know that we have a forum on there that people can ask questions?
No.
We do.
No.
You know, I hadn't been in there for a while. Here was just all these questions, and a lot of them were about the Spectre situation, the vulnerability that you can call. It's not really a virus. It's a vulnerability that's actually in the chipset on your computer. So your processor, you know, whether you have an Intel or an AMD processor, has this vulnerability in it. So anyway, there's been a lot of updates going on with it. So the question was, in fact, I'll just read this. After today's show on 1270 AM, I had a question about Spectre malware. I was going to search online for an answer, but you guys had me so worried about the virus, I was afraid to even type the word in a search engine. So I guess we have one person that listens to our show, Jim, and actually was concerned about this. So this is great. Either I missed it or you didn't mention it. How is the malware delivered to the specific devices? Is it through the normal web page attacks, i.e. clicking or opening an unknown web link or page? Just curious. Thanks, a longtime listener and fan of the show, Chuck. So Chuck, it's already on your machine. It's not something that you actually accidentally downloaded or whatever. It's actually a vulnerability in the chipset, part of the processor that they found was an issue with it. So that's what it is. And basically what's been going on is that there's been a couple of updates. Windows actually pushed out a Windows 10 update that included a Spectre fix for both Intel and AMD systems. They had some issues with it right away. One of them was that if you had an AMD rig, it became unbootable. We've had some machines coming into the shop recently, too, where the keyboard and the mouse are not working after an update, and I have a feeling it's related to this, and we're kind of tracking that down. So there's been some issues with it. The biggest thing is that when the computer is patched, it will actually slow your computer down about 20 to 30%. So they're working towards fixing that as well, but they're so concerned about the vulnerability that they're actually putting up with the slowdown as opposed to making sure that you're vulnerable. So anyway, there are fixes coming out. The other one called, and I can't remember the name of it right off the top of my head. Meltdown. So both Spectre and Meltdown were both found out about the same time.
That's an ominous name for it.
I know, Meltdown, right? So they haven't. They've been really working on the Spectre side because it was an easier fix. The Meltdown one is not as easy, but they also figure that because it's not as easy, hackers aren't able to exploit it as easy either. So they're more concerned about getting Spectre fixed first.
Why does that not really comfort me?
It shouldn't comfort you.
Yeah.
So, like with everything else, I always remind people, please change your passwords often.
Yeah.
I know it's a pain in the keister to do that, but the only way you can protect yourself, that's your best line of protection. If somebody were to hack into your computer and you happen to type in a keyword or a username and password, and they were keylogging that, meaning that they're recording that stuff and then sending it someplace else, the only way you can stop that from happening is by changing your password. And they might sell that information or whatever. There's a little bit of a time delay that goes on there, right? So they sell it off. They try to access your account a week or two later or a month later or whatever. If that password's been changed, they can't access it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So it's the best line of defense is just to change your passwords and do it frequently.
Okay.
So come up with some type of scenario that you can remember that and I usually like to use a couple bits of two different words, something in my history or whatever.
I come up with a sentence and then use the first letter of each word.
Oh, that's interesting.
Or if there's the word to in it, like jump to something, I'll put a to there instead.
Right.
Like a Prince song title.
Sure. And I've seen people will change like E's to 3's and and things like that. And that's good. It's good to do that kind of thing because it really, really messes people up when they're trying to crack your password.
Yeah.
So, I would certainly do that. But you got to have a system in place that it's easy for you to remember because the problem is if you change your passwords a lot.
Yeah.
Trying to remember what you did a month ago is kind of a pain. So
trying to remember some long drawn out thing that looks like something written by James Joyce when he was really drunk one night.
Exactly.
That's a literary reference. I'm showing everybody how smart I am.
Yes. Yes. So so I guess let's get into the Minority Report stuff since we just got a couple of minutes before a break. So I got a little device here, Jim.
Okay.
And I'm sure you see it right here. It's a little rectangular box, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to turn this thing on.
Looks like a matchbox.
It does kind of look like a matchbox. You can hear it beeping there now.
Yeah, it's got a little red
so
light blinky thing
over.
on it. A little red blinky thing on it.
I'm going to go like this.
Yeah.
And what do you see there, Jim?
I see a keyboard.
Right. Now when I type the G,
yeah,
look at that. JKOL. So it's an infrared keyboard. It's projecting onto the desk right here. I put a piece of paper down.
White paper.
It still would work the other way. It's just not as easy to see on the blue, right?
Okay.
But yeah, you can type. Isn't
Amazing.
that something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could hook this up to your. You could hook it up to anything. You could hook up to your. It's Bluetooth enabled. So
is it? Lasers?
It's just laser. Yeah. So it's two lasers. There's one that you can see.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's the one you can't see. And when you break the plane of the one you can't see, that's what triggers the key to work. So,
so when you touch a certain letter, it blocks the laser for that letter.
Exactly.
And
so
it registers.
It's a pretty cool deal. So anyway, with Minority Reports, you're actually going to see gesture type of devices. And join us, Larry LeBlanc.
Hello. Wait a minute.
Hello. Perfect timing as we're going into break.
Yeah.
I know. This is the best.
It is. So, but after the break, you going to join us?
For a little bit.
That's fantastic. We'll be talking about Minority Reports, and we'll be talking about Alexa and how you make phone calls with her. So come on back.
Right now, 15.
Follow the Guru of Geek at facebook.com/The Tech Ranch or Twitter at Guru of Geek or thetechranch.com. Here again is your guru of geek, Marlo Anderson.
And we want to thank everybody who follows us across the country and around the world. We're on the Blueberry Network, on the Tech Podcast Network. If it's Tech, it's here. We're on iTunes, Blueberry. I said that already.
Yeah.
Roku, TuneIn, and, of course, our own app, Radio Pup. So all kinds of places you can catch the show live or later. And we always share a lot of information. A lot of people like to catch the show, listen to it again. So
and on the SuperTalk 1270 app.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's Radio Pup, isn't it?
Well, it's different. I mean, you could still get it on the Radio Pup app, but now we have our own exclusive
That's right,
app.
yes.
I didn't know that.
The website, go to the website. You can listen online directly from the website if you want to.
Right. Yeah.
But there's an app as well that we can download for SuperTalk 1270.
Right.
For Town Square Media, for the home office. You can listen to all the stations of Town Square. So, like, if you want to listen to us or any of our sister stations down the hall here, that's how you do it. Like that Yo-Yo who does the morning show at the country station.
That's like Laird.
Yeah.
That's right. He's sitting right here.
He's an idiot.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
But a fun idiot, nevertheless.
What a maroon. Or that morning guy in the adult hit station.
Cool 98.7.
That's right.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to him?
Well, he's waking up about now.
Yeah. That's closer to the truth than you want to admit, actually.
Well, anyway, the show's going to get derailed now. Since
now that I'm
in
here. Well, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
The inmates have taken over the asylum.
You extended the invitation moments ago.
I did.
So I worked very feverishly to allow 15 minutes of my time.
Well, it's pleasant that you are here in the show. So did you want to talk about anything in particular with...
Not in particular. Has the new time affected anybody in any way?
No.
We were talking about that earlier, the daylight saving thing.
You know, the biggest thing is that, did you have to change any clocks? Or did everything change by themselves?
No. On my show Thursday, I'll give you a Cliff Note version of my show Friday, but Thursday night, I bought this awesome radio. It's a Sony from one of the thrift stores, and I bought it because it sounds so great. It's a great sounding radio. But I had to go to the Sony manufacturing website to download the instructions because it's very complex. It's not very easy.
Yeah.
But short of a long story, apparently it has the day in it somewhere.
Okay. Yeah.
And the day is wrong.
Okay.
And Thursday night it advanced itself. So then I woke up in the middle of the night to do what most men our age do, and that's relieve myself.
Of course.
And I looked at the clock.
Yeah.
And it said that it was like I wake up at 3:45, but the clock said it was like 3:45, and I'm thinking, no, because my Alexa didn't wake me up, and so I was running around frantically. I went in the kitchen to start the coffee and noticed it was 2:45.
So Alexa wakes you up.
Alexa wakes me up.
I want to get to that in a second. Jim wanted to say something.
No, well, I have a couple of things. I have something I want to mention later about wind-up radios. We'll get to that just a bit because what Larry was saying reminded me of that. But in terms of updating clocks for daylight saving, a lot of folks have the situation where all their clocks update themselves.
Right.
Unless you've got like a really old car like I do. I've got like a 1993 car I'm driving right now. I'm kind of between real cars. So I got a stopgap car, and I have to reset that one manually.
Okay.
Even though it's a digital thing, I have to set it.
Right.
Yeah.
But any car or any appliance or device that was manufactured before they changed the law this most recent time, because they've changed it several times, obviously.
Yep.
The daylight saving. It used to be you just had to do it manually anyway.
Right.
But then they changed it, and a lot of the electronics changed with it, unless, of course, you have an older system in which you have to change it manually, and then when it updates itself on the old date, then you got to go back and rechange it.
Right. So, in the morning, Alexa wakes me up.
Yeah.
I have the Sony clock, which changes time by itself. And then I have a battery-operated clock as a backup, which I have to update every time the time changes. I mean, look, I do a morning show, and anybody that does a morning show knows that you can't specifically just rely on one method to wake you up. And normally, I'm sure you're the same way, Jim, regardless of what time you go to bed, you will automatically wake up before the alarm wakes you up because I just hate the sound of Alexa waking me up, or I hate the sound of anything waking me up. So I'd rather wake up, turn it off, and then get up and start.
Well, in my case, I have a cat that insists on having breakfast at 4 in the morning.
Yeah, that would be a damn
And I wake
cat.
up, that damn cat is sitting on my chest, looking down at me like, dude.
And of course, the cat doesn't realize that it's daylight savings time.
Right.
It just knows.
Yeah.
So now it's
Now the cat's got to readjust.
That's exactly right.
But every time there's the daylight savings time, whether we spring forward or fall back, there's always these health reports that come out saying that the effect on our health when we lose that 1 hour.
Supposedly it's killing us.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
This job is killing me.
Would you prefer to have, if you could just choose a time,
right,
one way or the other?
When I lived in Arizona, we did not have daylight savings
Right.
That's
time.
right. So right now,
Indiana. I lived in Indiana back in the day when they didn't have it. They have it now, but they didn't then.
So right now they should only be 1 hour off from us, but they're actually 2 hours off from us because they don't do that. So that's interesting.
So who doesn't have it now? Just
Hawaii?
Arizona and Hawaii. Well, Hawaii doesn't need it.
Doesn't need it. No.
Yeah.
They're so far off the grid from the rest of us anyway.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
that's right.
And the unique thing, and it's hard to explain. I'm derailing your show.
It's okay. This is interesting.
But the unique thing is that when you talk to someone not from North Dakota, and you explain to them how close we are to the date line,
right?
That it's just 30 miles to the west of us, that during the summer we have almost 18 hours of daylight.
Right.
Well, didn't they move it recently?
Well, it's at the end of Morton County, where Morton County...
Right.
It used to be right at the river.
Right.
It used to be you went into Mandan.
And that would be crazy.
Oh,
it was crazy.
Well, they changed it because of people drinking. What happened was people had finished drinking here, and they drive over to Mandan to get that extra hour to drink.
I don't know anybody who did that.
Yeah.
Of course not.
What are you talking about,
I'm asking
Jim?
for a friend.
Now,
right, yeah.
Now, wasn't it at one time ago, wasn't it near Jamestown? And then they moved it to the river.
So
and then,
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
But the river, I think, at least since statehood,
right,
has been that way. But you're right. I think at one time, the country was divided along lines.
Yeah.
We know there's a Continental Divide, which is just west of Fargo.
Right.
There's a little sign.
Which I had to ask Alexa what that meant.
What a Continental Divide
Right.
Mostly all the water west flows to the Pacific.
Right, exactly.
Supposedly.
I did not know that, and I felt
kind
of privileged that I was passing through the Continental Divide. And Alexa?
Well, this is where the West begins.
I use Alexa a lot. I have one in the living room, and every time I see someone on TV, like last night, I saw Lionel Richie on American Idol. But this is 80% of the use I get from Alexa is asking her how old people are that I see on TV.
Right.
Yeah.
Lionel Richie is how old?
67. Okay. Looks good for 67.
So my mom has the internet for the first time ever 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right. 3 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And I don't believe she'll ever have a computer.
Right.
But she got it because my daughter was talking about how much money she was saving by not having cable.
Right.
Because she streams everything, via internet. So anyway, I took some time and went out and set up a TV for her, and I brought an Alexa along. Right. I figured, you can talk to this thing. You don't have to have a computer, right? I'm not kidding when I say this. I've talked to my mother more in the last 2 weeks than I have in the last decade.
Yeah.
Because she makes phone calls now. She just says, Alexa, call, and it calls me, right?
Yeah.
Have you used the calling feature?
I have not.
Really?
No.
So if you sync it to your phone,
right,
it pulls the contacts in, right? You can have your phone turned off.
Yeah.
It doesn't use your data or your phone anymore. So my mother's system is actually hooked up through my phone. She doesn't have a smartphone, so it put all of my contacts in there, and she can just call me from that. I mean, it's just the most amazing thing. And what's interesting is that now if you have Alexa on your Fire, your Android, and iOS tablet, if you have the app on there, you can make phone calls through the Alexa.
Excellent.
You know what I enjoy doing is that when I'm not home, I enjoy going home at the end of the day and finding out what the people were asking Alexa through the app When I wasn't home, you could do that. You can go to the app and find out what people are asking Alexa, and then you go to them and say, "Why in the hell did you want to know X, Y, Z?"
And they're wondering, how do you know this?
And I don't tell them.
Because you're right, your Alexa app on your device actually shows all the questions and stuff.
What are they asking?
Well, it's not for family radio, but
of course.
She doesn't know all the answers, though.
She's getting better. She's still beta.
Yeah.
It's still.
Now explain that whole thing.
Well, it's just not. When they brought it out, it was just supposed to be a beta machine. It's still learning.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's. I shouldn't say unfortunately. I guess depending on how you look at it, it's learning a lot.
Yeah. Right.
And it's learning a lot about us,
which
I'm not sure if that's good or not, but that's just how it is. But
artificial intelligence is taking over.
It is.
It is so scary.
It is.
No, it really is.
It really.
I mean, even Uber's having these personalist vehicles drive.
Yes.
But I think that's the whole fun of Uber is to talk to the driver.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. After the break, you're ready. We'll continue this conversation.
Right now, 15.
The Red River Farm Network. Ag News is here on SuperTalk 1270.
We're back to the Tech Ranch. Stream this program now at supertalk1270.com. Here is your guru of geek, Marlo Anderson.
And in studio, we have producer extraordinaire Jim Walsh.
Hi.
And extending his 15-minute stay, Lair Dog himself, Larry LeBlanc.
Yes.
We were just talking about Alexa.
And I was telling you in the break that Cortana seems to know more than Alexa. Explain to the folks who Cortana is.
Cortana.
Well,
does she answer to as Cortana to you?
She does.
Oh, that sounds so pretentious.
That's like the Cajun dialect coming out.
So you have the old person's version. Have you ever seen the SNL skit with Alexa?
No.
You can call her Amanda. You can call her whatever, and she'll just respond. It's hilarious.
Ophelia!
So obviously Cortana has the same feature for you, Larry. So. So
the old African-American dude going, Oprah!
So Cortana,
and a new car for you, and a new car for you.
So Cortana is the Windows 10 version of Alexa, basically. But you have to have a computer, of course, to make it work. But I use Cortana all the time. Mm-hmm. I really do. I mean, you know what I find? Instead of typing in, like, if you have to get to the control panel or set your display or whatever, you can just say, hey, Cortana, go to display settings, and she does. It's just amazing.
Wasn't that a song? Hey, Cortana?
I don't know.
You're breaking my heart.
That's maybe a little different song.
Could be.
I think Little Richard did it.
So what else do you use Alexa for? I'm impressed that you have this besides an alarm clock.
Like I said, I have it in the bedroom and the living room. In the living room, I do a lot of work, so I use it a lot for spell check and again checking people's age on TV.
So do you use it for your calendar?
I do not. No.
Do you have a Google Calendar?
I do.
See, you can just make.
I know, but I'd rather not.
It's easy.
I know, but
that's the number one thing
I'm leery of all this new stuff.
But she knows anyway.
No, she doesn't.
You don't have to tell her.
I know.
She already knows.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
What about the Google glasses? Remember they were all the big rage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did they ever...
They were the next big thing.
It's funny you should bring that up because in my stack of stuff today is AR glasses, believe it or not, which my photo didn't print. But yes, so Toshiba has a new set of glasses out. Google's still around with theirs,
right?
Using AR. And
do you know someone that has a pair?
Yes,
I don't know one person in my social of friends, my circle, that has a pair of Google glasses. So in my world, they never took.
So you see them in firms. You know, like if you're in a like oil inspection or that type of thing.
Well, there's probably other folks around here who have them then.
Well, yeah, there's a few, but you know, and you had to. It was like a waiting list that you had to be on to get them. So I remember
now they're on eBay.
What's so funny about this? When you bring this up, I actually wrote a quick little story about the demise of Google glasses, right? And as soon as it hit Twitter, within 2 minutes, Google got a hold of me and said, "We're still making them."
Oh my!
So they obviously monitor.
The reports of our demise have been somewhat
exaggerated. Yeah, it was kind of funny actually. And the article I wrote was just about the fact that there are other companies that are coming out, and you don't hear much about Google Glasses anymore. So yeah, it was kind of funny. But yeah, they're around. This is the year of augmented reality, in my opinion. You're going to see a lot of this. Of course, with your devices is where you're going to see most of your augmented reality. You hold your smartphone up to, a cafe, and it'll show you the menu on your screen or whatever. I'll have to show that to you, Jim. That's
I would love to see that.
And I actually am developing some things in that realm.
You visit,
as well.
a city that you've been to before, and you can go back to it and look around and see what it's like.
Yeah,
I could see. It's been years since, say, I've been to New York.
There's a lot of that's probably going to be going on.
My old stomping ground, Greenwich Village.
Yeah, see what it used to look like or whatever. Yeah.
See, I would enjoy that. Yeah, I'm such a big history buff that I would love going down the street and see what it looked like, let's say, in the 50s.
Sure.
In the French Quarter,
Yeah, I would love that.
Even having the old cars rolling down the street and all that other stuff. Yeah, it would be pretty cool. Absolutely. So, yeah, AR is going to be a big, big deal. Right now you're seeing it more in, advertising. Have you seen the 19 Crimes wine bottles?
No.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So if you go get the Living Wine app. This is a cool thing. You can just go to any liquor store and do this, right? You don't have to buy the wine. But it's called Living Wine is the app. You hold the app up in front of the label, and the face that's on there comes to life and tells you about the crime that person committed. And, and 19 Crimes is about the 19 crimes that were committed to get you sent from England to Australia.
Yeah. I love that idea.
And, this person just comes to life, and you just watch as they talk about the crime that was
tried to shoot this
Excuse me, sir, are you going to buy that bottle of wine? No, I'm just watching the movie.
I'm here for the history lesson. But it's amazing how, as I've gone around the country in the last couple months, that even I was in an Italian eatery about 3 weeks ago, and their featured wine was 19 Crimes. I mean, here's all, and the wine is like $7.50. I mean, it's like a very, very inexpensive bottle of wine. And here I'm in this Italian eatery that I don't think their cheapest bottle of wine was under $100.
No, you were really in the Italian eatery.
I was in the Italian
not
eatery.
Online. It wasn't virtual.
I was there, and...
Was this when you were in California?
It was in Vegas, actually.
Oh, okay.
And it was funny because they were touting the fact that they had 19 crimes. And it was like, even there it was like $18 or something, which is more than you normally would pay. But compared to the $100 wine, it was like a bargain, right? So,
Well, our friend Stacey Sturm should get that for her tavern. That'd be a great conversation
She should have
piece.
It, actually, yes.
Because you just have to wonder how... The reason I ask about the Google Glasses is that today's technology is so... disposable, and you just have to wonder what the shelf life is for some of that stuff.
Well, it's just like your smartphone, right? It's about 2 years.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I just bought the phone I have right here 2 months ago and spent a gazillion dollars on it, and now they're coming out with the next version already. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Right.
How do you keep up with this stuff?
Now you lease the phone, right?
Well, right, but you still kind of buy it, lease it type of deal.
Yeah, you buy it over an extended period.
Yeah, but there's no advantage to. That's the thing that always irritates me. I'd rather just pay for the phone.
Right.
But I figure it out, and it's actually cheaper to lease the phone over the 2 years than it is to buy it straight out, which I don't understand.
Like leasing a car.
It's the craziest thing.
Because back in the day, they used to give you the phone and charge you up the gazoo for the time.
Right.
And I swear.
Well, phones were a lot simpler back then.
Remember back in the day, I was watching on PBS when they had the phone companies had a monopoly. You had South Central Bell and all that stuff. And I remember growing up having like a $300 phone bill because of long distance charges.
Right.
And that's just something that it's going by the wayside.
It's just gone.
Yeah.
It's just gone. I mean, I'm surprised talking about my mom again. She has an old rotary phone in her house yet. And it broke down a couple of years ago, and the phone company came out, and she's been paying a lease on it for all this time. They came out and replaced it with another rotary phone. And she pays $8 a month for this thing, and I'm like, Mom, you can buy one for $10, right? And she's like, yeah, but they'll come fix it for me, So.
And then we had push button phones, and I remember screwing one up because I spilled, I think, a Coca-Cola or something on it, and the buttons started to stick.
Sure.
And I get all kinds of wrong numbers.
That would have been interesting.
And speaking about your mom and technology. My dad is 83, in great health, never had any health issues whatsoever. And like 2 years ago, my sister taught him how to text. And he and I keep in touch like every day, texting.
That's pretty cool.
I have an uncle like that who was about that
back
age.
and forth, because when I'd call him on the phone, I would get more out of standing on my back doorstep and yelling to Louisiana than I would talking to him on the phone, because he would put it on speakerphone, and my stepmom would have to repeat everything that I said, and my dad would say, well, what's he saying again? And
what about speakerphones? Are they getting any better? Because right now they're terrible.
Well, right now they do have they have hearing aids that are Bluetooth adaptable, which is really cool.
So this goes full circle back to Alexa, right? Making a phone call with Alexa, because she has a great microphone array, right? And she has great speakers. So
she's got great speakers.
it's the best.
Great pair of speakers on you, girl.
It's probably the best conference call phone I've ever used.
It's a nice pair of knobs you got. Hey, Alexa, come over here.
Oh my!
You're never home alone without Alexa.
So did you see somebody converted Alexa to make a HAL 9000?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So
with the actual voice of the guy.
Oh yeah. It's hilarious.
I wonder if it's the actual guy. I believe he's still living. He's a Canadian actor.
I do not know.
Yes.
You can put two Alexas talking to each other. I don't know if you've done that.
I haven't done that.
You have two in the same room, and you have one that's say hello, Alexa, say hello, Alexa, and then the other one say hello, Alexa, and it's just it never ends. I've done that before. That's how bored I am when I'm home alone. I get the two Alexas in the same room.
Don't you have to say like the word repeat in front of one of them first?
Yeah.
No, you
repeat
say
Alexa, hello.
Say Alexa, 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 Alexa.
It's like George Carlin talking about the things he does at home when the lights go out.
I think it would be fun to get Alexa, Cortana, and Google into a conversation sometime. There's got to be a way that can happen.
Hey, Menage, whatever.
And Siri. You got to get Siri in there too, right?
Yeah.
So in terms of doing more, Alexa can do more than the Google.
At this time, I think that's correct.
Yeah. You think Google's going to catch up? I'm sure they will.
They all have their own little niches right now. Alexa's just been around a little bit longer, so she's got a lot more apps and that type of thing. So we will continue this conversation after the break, so come on back.
Currently, it's 18 degrees.
On Twitter, Facebook, online, and YouTube. SuperTalk1270.com.
Follow the Guru of Geek everywhere he goes. Post your comments or questions at thetechranch.com. Once again, your Guru of Geek, Marlo Anderson.
And we're talking about Spatula City. Spatula City.
Spatula City. We sell spatulas, and that's about all we sell.
You've seen this comedy bit before, right, Jim?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but Lair Dog is never. Yeah.
Spatula City.
Yeah, if you buy 9, you get your 10th one free. It's
Rush
Spatula
Limbaugh
City.
used to run it on his show.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah, it was a Weird Al bit, though, I think.
Oh, okay.
At one time, yeah.
So remember, A&E, Friday and Saturday nights.
Yeah.
Live PD.
Live PD. So they're actually broadcasting this show live.
If you remember what Cops used to be, now this is live.
Oh, that's a show that had your friend from New Orleans on, right? Didn't they have a show from New Orleans one week?
Oh, no, that was...
You knew somebody who was on the show.
Yeah, that was a recorded reality show
Oh.
where they followed around EMS in New Orleans and another captain of EMS. Right. But this is like an updated version of Cops, and it's Lee Abrams, who is the crime reporter for ABC, is one of the guest hosts.
And you said one of the perps had a spatula one week, and that's why we're
this
on the
past
Spatula
weekend,
City,
a guy
right?
was breaking into his car, and he had his hand down in his crotch. So people called the cops saying there's a guy with a gun in our apartment complex. The cop showed up, and he pulled out a spatula. He goes, "No, someone broke into my car."
Guy with guns, splatter spells with spatula. Film of 11.
The cops said you could have got shot because you have a spatula in your crotch.
So.
A double dose of dastardly deeds in Detroit this weekend. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Doing those old, top 40 news things. Yeah. Strain through the grill of a Cadillac.
So I have a pen in my hand here,
yes,
right?
that is a pen.
All right. So I don't know why they do this, right? But, the part that you kind of clip into your pocket, right? That is the clicker on this pen, right?
Oh, okay.
So why do they have the clicker on the top of the pen yet? That does, obviously, does not work.
That is, you know what that's for? I'll tell you. That is for your smartphone.
That's kind of what I figured, but it's still
then
kind of
why
funny.
Did you ask?
Because I wanted to see.
What would you do? Can you plug it in your smartphone and it can write messages for you?
Well, you can actually.
It's like a cursor.
Yeah. Exactly.
It says bad words.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking.
So
we've been teasing everybody about Flippy, and we haven't got to it yet. So
what is Flippy?
Flippy,
Flippy
is the burger flipping robot that is at the restaurant called Cali Burger in Pasadena, California.
Yeah, just like on the Looney Tunes.
Yes.
With the music.
Yes.
We got
Which
the music
is why,
here.
Yes. Very nice. Very nice. So replacing our human cooks. So here we go. The march is on to displace us from working in society.
Yeah.
So
With two little hands that flip it, they have gloves on.
So there's this thing. So they had to take it down though because the outlet can only so Flippy can only flip 2,000 burgers a day.
Mm-hmm. A day?
Just 2,000 burgers a day.
And Flippy's in how many restaurants?
One restaurant.
Oh.
And it can't keep up.
OSHA.
When they installed Flippy, it's become a tourist attraction almost. People come in to see Flippy working, so now Flippy can't keep up. So they're updating Flippy.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to see that.
So that it can produce more hamburgers. Isn't that fantastic?
That is crazy.
Yeah. So, it's
obviously that's a tourist that has nothing to do.
Me.
Well, you go down, you have something to talk about now, right? Hey, my hamburger was cooked by a robot. So, but it's funny, but in 5 or 10 years, this will be commonplace. In fact, there's a slew of robots. Is that even a word? A slew? A bunch of robots that are coming out.
A gaggle.
A gaggle. I like that word. A gaggle of robots that are coming out that are actually designed to help us in the home. And
a plethora.
One of these is a cleaning, cooking robot.
Really?
That is humanoid in shape and will go around and cook basic meals and do a lot of housekeeping.
Do you remember that science fiction story about it was the end of the world and the only thing left were the machines that cleaned up the houses? And they went through their whole routine every day, fixing bacon and eggs for people who were no longer there.
That's hilarious, yeah. That's how my robotic vacuums
That was a Ray Bradbury story. It's a real story.
Sure. Yeah. My vacuum cleaners work whether we're there or not, right? So every morning they
These would be great, especially if they would talk back, just like a real wife would.
That'll be coming next, I'm sure. Somebody will install Alexa in one of these things, and away you go. So.
And they will
pick up your socks.
Yeah,
that's what I had you for.
Yeah,
yes.
We'll call it Mom. Mom, do the dishes. Now do your own dishes. I'm your mother.
So what else do you use Alexa for, by the way?
I think I gave it to you.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah,
wakes me up in my bedroom, spelling. Sometimes I'll have it play music, not that often.
Yeah, we did that in the studio one time. Remember? We
were
just
sitting absolutely.
Here saying play, Sinatra.
I've got the dot in the bedrooms, and the dot's not as the fidelity of it's not as clean as the.
But it's your alarm clock, right? What do you wake up to?
Oh, it's just the same. It's that aggravating noise.
Why don't you set it to something nice?
But here's the deal. I try to tell her, turn off the alarm, and she keeps telling me, you have no alarm set. And I'm thinking, I do. You're going to wake me up tomorrow morning at 3:45.
Here's where the cursor comes in.
Right.
Do you have arguments with Alexa?
No, but I do have some fairly colorful adjectives I throw at her. And she'll say, that's not very nice.
No.
She always has to have the last word. That drives me crazy.
Oh, I love that.
I will unplug you.
So I'm going to turn on my little box here.
I know. I love that.
Yeah. You can hear beeping there now. So
I keep asking, why is Larry not married? Now we know he doesn't need a wife.
Right. I have Alexa.
So I just turned this thing on. It is a keyboard that's an infrared keyboard that is now projecting on a piece of paper, and we can go, welcome, Lair Dog.
I know. That is so cool.
So the reason I brought this in today is because Minority Reports, and Jim, I know you have a story you want to tell real quick about that. So about what's going to happen on Thursday?
About Thursday?
Yeah, didn't you say something about because of Minority Reports? Larry's going to know something about what's going to happen.
Oh yeah, a pre-crime. Yeah. He's gonna sock me in the nose on Thursday because I make a joke on the air on 98.7 about Trump and his hooker girl.
Oh, there you go. So I guess you kind of know what's going to happen now.
Yeah. What's her name again?
So anyway, but in Minority Report, Stormy, is that her name?
I was going to say cat, but that's not it.
But you actually use gestures in Minority Report and move around. So So this, so you can move photos across from screen to screen or whatever just by moving your hands, right?
Right.
So this particular technology that's been used for this keyboard is now going to be enhanced so that you'll be able to use gestures like in your car. So you'll be able to, I'm not sure how they're going to make that work yet, but...
you can hook this up to a regular computer?
Yeah, or your phone or whatever.
Like through a fob?
Yeah. Well, actually, it's Bluetooth.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, you know where they're going to make a fortune on this kind of stuff, and this is going to sound like a joke, but you know damn well it's going to happen, is the porn and sex industry. They're going to make, as soon as they figure out how to...
artificially inseminate?
Exactly. In so many words, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the sex industry is
they already
all
dominate
excited for robots.
I mean, 95% of the internet now is cat videos and porn.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes they overlap.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Always got to throw a cat in there someplace.
Oh, I love my cats. Love my kids.
I don't even know what to talk about anymore, you guys. So, how about? Oh, we got a remote control here.
How old-fashioned, right?
The inventor of the wind-up radio passed away last week. What was his?
The wind-up radio, and you didn't.
I didn't know.
Trevor Bayliss. He was an Englishman. He looks a lot like Albert Einstein, or he did.
Yeah.
He had the same kind of mustache, and he smoked a pipe. He lived on a little island in the Thames River in England called, I love this, Eel Pie Island. And he's an engineer. He was an engineer, an inventor. He invented the Sea Crane wind-up radio,
right?
Which is something probably be a nice thing to have for emergencies.
Well, anytime you had an outage, a power outage, you'd be able to wind up your radio,
right.
and I think what you said, Jim, is right. It's like 3 minutes of winding.
Yeah, you wind it up 3 minutes,
a half hour
and
of
then it powers it for a half hour.
Yeah, it's a great fitness
imagine
plan
a
as well.
storm where your power's out, and you're out fresh out of batteries.
Yep.
There you go.
Hook it up to an electric bicycle and just like.
Well, this is what I'm thinking, right? You're at the gym, and in order to listen to music, and everybody's got ear pods in right now.
Didn't somebody do that where they actually said you have to pedal a certain speed?
That would be hilarious,
to watch your
right?
Soap opera? Yeah, I think they actually did that. They have figured that out.
I can see everybody on the walking track right now, right, winding their radios every 30 minutes so they can listen to the next 5 or 6 songs.
Tied in with your bicycle at the Y.
Yes.
If you
yeah,
want to
exactly.
watch the TV show, you got to keep pedaling.
Yeah, we got to have 100 people at the Y this morning so we can power up the suburb out there. So, right. Well, guys,
this was fun.
It has been fun as always.
Thanks for inviting
You need to be back on the show.
I will.
I'm not sure if Emily's going to be excited that you took her place today, but that's okay.
Well, whenever she can't make it, I will.
You'll fill in for her?
Yes,
yeah.
I will. It's always fun.
We must have her on the show, though.
We'll try to get her back next week. Hopefully she's not busy with the news.
There's a lot of people we should have back.
I love you guys.
We should probably do that.
I love what you guys talk about constantly. I love this stuff.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you.
You've been listening to The Tech Ranch, live and local on SuperTalk 1270. Keep ahead of the trends. Tune in every Monday morning at 11 a.m. for The Tech Ranch. Exclusively here on SuperTalk 1270 and online at supertalk1270.com.